Welcome to AV in the Wild, the podcast that dives deep into the heart of the pro AV industry, out in the field, on the move, and in the moment.
As you can see from the Christmas tree behind me, we are finishing off 2025 and heading into a new year of 2026. And the new year brings the most exciting three letters in the UC and AV industry, ISE. We're excited about it. We want to get you all excited about it. So we were racking our brains. And Iffat, who can we get to give some spoilers, some exclusives, and some updates about what people can expect in Barcelona in 2026? What do you think?
Well, do you know what? I have been thinking about it, and I have been wondering who would, because as you quite rightly say, the minute we hit kind of Christmas, everyone starts thinking, right, January, New Year. It literally is time to start planning our trips to Barcelona. And yes, everybody, it is in Barcelona. We're not moving to Amsterdam. We're not going back that way.
That
We're
rumor keeps coming up, doesn't
moving
it?
forward, moving forward. So yeah, make sure you're on the right flights, AV Tweeps and AV Brits. But really, there's only one person that springs to mind who I think, if you really want to know the truth about what's happening, the real scoops, it can only be one person. You know who it is.
Oh, okay. I'll drop the spoiler. Well, so let's bring up Mr ISE, Mr. Mike Blackman, joining Iffat and I on AV in the Wild to tell you all of the updates and secrets. We recorded this podcast. Enjoy.
What is it about 2026 that you think makes it an unmissable event? I mean, it's the biggest event in our calendar, right, for our industry.
And it's the biggest ISE ever. It's increased in size dramatically. It's got a lot of new exhibitors. We're going to see, thousands of product launches. I think that's what makes it exciting. There's always going to be something new, but the real cool stuff is what we're doing. The content part, and our conference program is increased, covering stuff like cybersecurity. Spark is going to be really exciting.
Spark, actually.
That's going to be exciting. I think it's the next step that everyone was waiting for with ISE. And then when you look at the program, one of the things we've always done with ISE, and I'll give you a bit of background to that in a second, is we've done all the stuff outside. It started off with the projection mapping, which we used to do in Amsterdam, and we always get renowned artists. But when we got to Barcelona, we took it up a level. And thanks to the collaboration with Casabatio, we were able to get a really good facade to do stuff and really draw really interesting artists. Yeah, and this year it's going to be up another level. I mean, the guys we've got Matt Clark, who's, I think, one of the top of the league. Okay, everyone fights to beat Rafik and Nadal. I mean, he was just a master, and I feel it's a shame we did him first, because everyone has to try and live up to his standard. But we still had great. I mean, Kaola last year was great, but I think Matt Clark is going to take up another level. And then we're going to do drones and stuff in front of the show. First Tuesday night, when we close the show, when you go out, it's going to be a spectacular event outside. Wow. Just as a closing for people going out. And we're going to repeat it every night. Not in the same way, but repeat it. Rebecca, am I allowed to tell them? I think I am, yes.
Tell us.
I love that.
Yeah, come on.
Have we got a
exclusive?
So what we're planning is a drone show. Now, we used to do the indoor drone pavilion.
Yes.
Well, because we're running out of space, we sort of kicked that out, because we needed the space to get exhibits in. And we said, can't we do this outside? And our partner for that said, well, okay, we can do something cool. And we're going to have 700 drones doing a show above the South Access. And it's going to coordinate with the South Access screen, the big screen above the entrance.
Yeah.
And we're going to have an opera singer as well. So three elements all.
So I've got a question for you then. What came first, these ideas or the theme of Push Beyond? Because it sounds like you guys have seriously pushed beyond.
Push Beyond came first, but I would tell you, Push Beyond is something we've always done.
Yeah.
The team, we've got a really motivated team who always look, because I say to them, guys, although we're number one when it comes to the shows, to stay there, we can't be complacent. We can't just sit back and say, hey, we're number one, let's just carry on as we are. So every year, the teams, we leave the show, everyone has a few days break to just relax and come down from that buzz. And then each department, marketing, sales, operations, IT, finance, they all get together as their individual departments, and they look at everything they did that year, and they look at it and say, did it work, and was it good, and was it only so because we were lucky, or did we do it right? And the stuff that didn't go well, did it not go well because it wasn't worth doing, or did we just do it badly? So we sort of dissect the show, every aspect of the show in every department. Then we come together at the end of March, middle to the end of March, while it's still a bit fresh. And as a team, we discuss and come forward with the things that we should change, the things that we should continue, the things we should keep doing, and new things that we should start looking at. And then there's a process within the next 3-4 months while we're doing our budget and putting in the ideas into that budget. Let's say 2 months. We present that to our owners, so Avix and Cedia, what the plan is and what it's going to cost. And we get sort of like a rubber stamp, okay or no. And then if it's a no, we have to go back and rework the budget. If it's a yes, then we can go with that. And we present that in June to our board. And we get it rubber stamped. And once that's done, we get on with the job of actually doing everything we've been looking at and getting prepared. So, the team is always, when we're not just looking inwards, we're looking outwards as well and saying on everything. And even if something was good, we always look to see, can we do it that bit better?
That's an interesting point, because one of the big things is obviously it's not just a trade show, but there is the whole live event stage you have there with Avixa and all of that as well. Again, talk us through again for someone who's maybe never been to ISE. Just talk us through it. It is obviously a trade show, but then there's a whole bunch of additional stuff around the outside as well.
So you have to look at the aspects of a trade show. It's an opportunity to bring buyers and sellers together. It's it gives them the chance to look at things they may want to consider or things they might never even thought about, and to actually experience those. So the sellers, the exhibitors, have that opportunity to really present themselves. They're presenting to some of their existing customers, so people they know. They're presenting to people they've invited, who they know of. And then the people who just accidentally run into them there and find them and say, oh, wow, that's cool, I should have that. So it's a real opportunity for both sides to learn. We in the middle, we're like the glue. We're putting things together to actually make it work, bringing everyone together. But the other side as well, we have to be giving that independent information, the non-selling part of the show. Think about it like a magazine. You have the advertising, you have the editorial, and you have the readers. The attendees are the readers. The exhibitors are the advertisers, and we are the editors. We're the ones who are responsible for putting it together, and we're responsible for writing the information that brings everybody there. And this is where we get a chance to do things. We're looking at themes. We're trying to find out what's state of the art. Talk to people like yourselves and ask, well, hey, what should we be doing? What's exciting? What's not just trendy, but what's the way we're going forward? And we try to bring in experts to come and talk about that as well.
You've got some pretty big mega trends this year that you're focusing on, haven't you? And things like AI and cybersecurity, and I know you wanted to.
It's funny. AI is still not old hat. It's still changing every day and advancing and getting more and more into what our industry is about, and seeing it's not just software, it's hardware now as well, or the software that's driving that hardware. But everybody is using AI in their solutions now. So we have to keep talking about that. And I think bringing in Sol Rashidi, I mean, she was one of the inventors of Watson, and
the IBM Deep Blue, yeah.
Nice.
exactly. And so you've got a real expert, a real pioneer there coming in. And then the cybersecurity came about. And
there's a hackathon as well, isn't there? There's the cybersecurity summit, isn't there, and the hackathon.
So I would tell you how the hackathon came about. I was actually talking to one of our exhibitors, Tobias Lang. Tobias Lang, you know Tobias?
Yes.
And about 6 years ago, Tobias said, "You should do a hackathon." And I was like, "What's that?"
You're showing your age now, Mike.
Well, we're talking 6 years ago now,
Yeah.
Anyway, so he said, you should really think about this. And we were thinking, saying, how do we implement something like this? And then I've got a really, really good business development manager, Lara. I think, in fact, you know Lara.
Yes.
And I just thought, okay, pass this on, Lara. We should do a hackathon.
Make it happen.
Okay. And off she went and visited a couple of hackathons, and came back and said, this is what we should do. And I have to give the credit to her. I mean, she's the one who's made it happen and really makes it. She's really behind it and makes it happen. But I can say the father of the idea was Tobias Lang, and I was just the person who made it happen at the end. And there are other people who do all the hard work. Most of ISE's like that,
Are you going to? I mean, is there an opportunity for people to get involved in this? Again, is it an opportunity for us to call out, say, hey, if you're interested in the hackathon, I mean, how's it going to work? Can people just
missed the boat a little bit. So we put out that call quite early, and we deal with a lot of universities because we find the biggest benefit and the most potential comes from students, and most of them are not master's students. They put teams together. They're coming from universities. We started just with Spanish universities and thinking that's what it's going to be. But then we got applications from outside. So we had a Swedish university last year. Now we probably have about 40% of the applications are from we've got American universities. We've got universities all over Europe coming in with teams. Right. So they put in they apply to be part of this. We choose themes. So it's sustainability, cybersecurity, and innovation. And these are the themes that get split into groups. We bring in experts. So we bring in people who are involved in those fields to be there overnight, during the day, working with the students, to be there to actually as bouncing boards and getting information. And they're given these tasks, and they have to come out and present after 2 days working through. We give them a pizza and coffee and everything else, or Red Bull.
We do develop it. Just put pizza under the darkened door, yeah.
And last year was the first time we did it, and it's a mega success. And what it's doing is creating an opportunity for students to look into our industry and look at some of the challenges. And master students are the best to approach things like this. They've got that mindset on how to approach it. And they're coming in, they're learning about our industry. Our industry is looking at these people as talent for potential jobs as well. So it's a win-win on all sides on here. And they're coming in, they have fun doing it, but it's a real challenge they're looking at. It's been a mega success, and it's growing. We were surprised that, we loved the success we had last year. The amount of attention has grown this year, and students and companies with interest in it has just grown as well. So it's a real winner and something new, and it's going extremely well. It's a lot of work. We have assistance from 2 university professors who manage and curate the whole program for us. They work very hard on this as well with Lara, and it's growing, and I tell you, it's going to be another success. That's something new last year, bigger this year. Cybersecurity is new. That started off. So we have a consultant that we took on to look at primarily physical security.
Okay.
And we had the issues generally about the venue and just taking care of, making sure it's a secure place and safe place, but also the issues we had in the city. And Iffat, I don't know if you made it in the end, but you were invited. You went, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So we invited a few people, a few key people in the industry, journalists, to come and experience a couple of days with the Mossos. And the idea came from our security consultant, and he's the former chief of Mossos. So the guy who was when the guy you met, Iffat, and when we said about the issues we had of dealing with the PR fallout on theft in the city, he said, Mike, don't try and fight this one, because everyone's going to say you have a vested interest to say whatever you need to say.
Exactly.
And he said, invite some journalists to come and experience what's going on and how it's being dealt with. And Iffat was one of the people we selected on that. And I think it was a great experience. And I think it gave a different view to what's going on. And what I can tell you, what the city's doing to fight crime is increased phenomenally. The crime
It
rate
was so noticeable last year. Well, this year we're still
Yeah.
in 25, obviously calendar wise, but the presence, and it just felt safer. It felt like there was more visibility, and I'm
Yeah.
sure everything was down. I mean, I didn't hear it was a fraction compared to the year before.
And you'll see it's even better because they've really clamped down on crime, and I mean it's petty crime. One of the things where Barcelona is a little bit different to say London or Paris or some other cities is you don't see violent crime, because what happens is if they just steal your watch or your wallet or your phone, they get a slap on the wrist. They're in the police station for a few hours and then they get let go. But if they pull a knife on you or hit you, they go to jail straight away, and they know this. So the criminals will more than likely, touch wood, more than likely run away than attack you. So it's something, but still, it's a problem that's been dealt with, and the figures have dramatically reduced even in the last 6 months. I get crime reports from the tourist office, just giving updates on what's being done, etc. And it's really, really improving. So the city's clamping down on it, which is good. But anyway, so Ferrer is our security consultant. He took me. We were chatting and just talking about security, and he talked about cybersecurity. And I said, well, is that something we should be concerned about? And he looked at me and said, what are you doing next week? And I said, tell me where I should be going. He said, do you want to meet the head of the Spanish Secret Service? And I said, are you serious? I said, yeah, come on. He made a phone call, and the following week we went to Madrid and we actually met the deputy director of the Spanish Secret Service. And we started talking, and they started highlighting things. I tell you, after I walked out of that place, firstly, I had to empty any electronic device out of my pockets before I went in the building. I got a little locker and everything went in there. They're so paranoid.
Wow.
But you start to understand. And then the things they told me, I would never do any banking on public Wi-Fi ever anymore.
Wow.
The dangers of stuff like that are just crazy. And airports are the worst places, they said. But they told us about how cyber criminals get into our systems and things like this. And I walked out of that and I said to Perret, I said, wow, we may be a bit too naive about this. And we started talking, and he told me all the people he knows around Europe who are involved in this stuff. On the EU level, on different police forces, different authorities. And I said to him, shouldn't we be telling the AV industry about this? And I said, I want you to be my conference chair. He said, I've never done it. He said, doesn't matter. You just have to just bring those people and let them come and talk to the AV industry. So we launched this. We had all these issues happening, airports, Heathrow Airport. We had the crash on Microsoft and the airline ticketing system. And there were all sorts of high-level, high-profile issues that suddenly happened. And I'm saying, hey, this looks like, if we were trying to do PR, we were managing these things to actually happen. So it started to really put it in the front of everybody's noses. And we said, I think we really hit the right thing here to actually highlight this, but not a case of saying, hey, there's a danger here. It's more a case of saying to the industry, this is what you need to do for your customers to reassure them. When we hear about the UK government not accepting any Chinese equipment into infrastructure anymore, or more and more governments doing that, then and these are command and control centers, or things which are in the AV business. So
Yes.
I think our community has to understand what to tell the customers, because the customer is going to be saying, well, is anyone going to get in my back end and screw up my building, or whatever. So I think this is the thing to actually highlight, show some things as well. I think it's going to be quite an exciting conference. I hope that our industry is not as naive as I am. I hope the lesson that everyone learns from this is actually to approach it in the right way and have the right answer for the customers.
So I was going to ask, obviously there's over 1,600 exhibitors, 270 of those are new.
Over 1,700. Over 1,700.
I stand corrected, my numbers are obviously out. But what would be your top 3 kind of tips for an exhibitor to get the most out of ISE? And what would be the top 3 tips for someone coming?
So firstly, for the exhibitors, invite your customers, because a lot of these customers are going to get lots of invitations anyway. And if they don't get one from you, it may be they're there and they don't see you. So invite your customers, invite your potential customers. And the second thing is use the tools that we have in terms of pre-promotion. Promote yourselves before the show. That's so important. Don't just think because you're there, people will find you. Tell people you're there. Tell them what you're doing, and take advantage of all the tools and that we have that in the exhibitor manual, in the exhibitor back end, that will help you to promote yourself and get more business.
Right.
So that's on the exhibitor side. On the attendee side, ISE has grown so big now.
Yeah, again, how do you navigate that as either as somebody who's been before?
Get around. You cannot get around the whole show in 4 days.
Right.
So you have to plan. If you're coming on your own, then go. I mean, first thing, download the app. It's one of the best tools you can use. We also have a bot called Dave, DAVE. And Dave is there to help you navigate, answer questions. Dave is there to try and pull all the information that's available on the show that you can actually ask about.
Nice.
Get the app.
We love a mate called Dave.
Yeah, everyone needs a Dave.
and plan. So go to the exhibitor list. Decide what are the most important things you want to see subject-wise. And go through the list and find out what they are, where they are, and do that first. Just go and plan the things which are your must-sees. And then when you have time afterwards, go and see the other nice to have. Yeah.
So create your own top 5, top 10 things that you want to get out of ISE, and who are your top 3 people to go and see, and then focus on those first, and then whatever time you've got, then it's your kind of shopping trip.
Yeah, because you will get distracted en route as well.
Time will get evaporated.
But if you're going with a few people, if you're a company, you've got several people there, split up.
Divide and conquer.
Divide yourself. Spend the first part, looking at the must-sees. Get back together and tell everybody about the things they should that you've seen that they should go and look at as well. So put the highlights in there. I think that's the best way to approach it. Those are my first 2 tips. The second one is take some rest, get some food, drink a lot of water. It's one of the worst things is the aching feet at the end of the day.
There's an ISE shoe for that, isn't there?
Yes, there is, and I've tested them, and they're good. They're good.
All right.
Well, very good. I heard they're sold out. So
I was going to say, I look forward to ours, but clearly they're.
You guys haven't got yours?
No, not yet.
Got them. No.
I'm sure you know somebody who can help you on that.
Yeah,
Let's hope so.
his name's Mike Blackman.
Actually, I am. You have to speak to Steph. She's the one who knows those keys there. Yeah.
Perfect.
So
it's all about who you know.
Yeah.
exactly.
Talk to us about Spark. Obviously I work for MCube now, so since last ISE, I'm with a new employer, as is Neil actually. So as well as AV in the Wild, we've got new jobs as well. And I think Spark is sparking a bit of an interest, certainly for my colleagues, and we're coming en masse.
It's a place for MCube. It's funny enough, MCube is going to have a presence at ISE for the first time. And that came from me sitting next to Marcus in Korea. Here I go again.
Yeah, Korea, Hong Kong, Dubai.
And Marcus.
4 air miles.
And it just came to that discussion and we said, yeah, we have a solution. But anyway, the missing Spark has been the missing link of ISE. We have all these hardware suppliers, all these exhibitors, and we've always been weak on software. You find it if you go to most of the hardware vendors, you'll find some of these software companies on their booths because they're presenting themselves, they're presenting their solutions, and that's part of it. But we haven't had that many software companies presenting themselves or content creators presenting themselves. And it started slowly. We've had people like Media Pro or TV3, and slowly it's getting there. We said, okay, we need to actually create a community. We need to create somewhere where we can focus this part of the show. And talking to some of the industry people, talking to internally discussions, we came up with the idea of Spark, the concept of Spark. And we took this out and talked to a few associations and exhibitors, and they said, yes, that's what we need. The resonance has been phenomenal. So we're quite excited about it. It's been launched as it's being incubated within ISE for 2026. And our plan
My understanding is it's about bringing the creative part into some, with the technology, bringing that actually together.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and it fits in with, the guys who create projection mapping, the agencies who are creating corporate TV or advertising, things like this. So we're putting up a platform where they can actually come together, meet with vendors, meet with buyers, etc. in there.
I'm sure Marcus probably told you, but we've been working with Rafiq Anadol on a project in Europe Did he not?
But I can imagine he would fit with you guys really well. I think
it's such an exciting project. Obviously, I met him when he did ISE, so I was lucky enough to spend a few minutes with him.
Such a nice guy.
So
He's
humble,
unbelievable, and really,
absolutely.
It's really nice to spend time with him. And what amazed me is when I first approached him about coming and doing the mapping and speaking at ISE, he said, "You really want me?" He's so humble,
Yeah,
and,
he is.
And
so we've installed LED in the longest tunnel underground. It's sort of obviously a tunnel.
Oh yes, okay. Marcus did tell me about that.
Yeah, so Rafiq's been involved in the creatives for that.
Okay. Oh, I'd love to see that. I
imagine it's Italian news, so I'm sure we'll be shouting about it soon.
Yeah, it's this tunnel between Trieste
Slovenia.
and
yes,
and yeah. Wow, that would be really cool.
So what happens between now and launch day and go day? I mean, are you frantically running around like headless chickens, or is everything calm and relaxed and all?
Have you got a countdown clock?
Yeah.
We do have a countdown clock. We have deadlines. A lot of work going on because we have these two crazy things called Christmas and New Year in between that shut us down. They're really badly placed in our calendar.
So inconvenient.
We would rather have the show and then Christmas and New Year.
Yeah, I bet.
But we have it in between. We were used to that. And it's one of the things. We have a lot of work going on at the moment. Next week we have our final team meeting of the year. So my team is split all over Europe. We have an office in Barcelona. We have an office in Munich. We have an office in Amsterdam. And the whole marketing team are in the UK, or majority of them. So, people all over the place. So what we do, we meet online every 2 weeks, and then close to the show every week. We have a jour fixed team meeting, but every 3 months we meet physically in the same place, and everyone comes together. And this was the last one of the year before the show as well, where we do our final. This is what the show is going to be. This is what's going to happen. Everything's fixed now. This is what we're going to do, and then that's next week, and then the week after, people start going off for Christmas, and then on the 6th of January we get back in, and then it's all shoulders to the wheel, and it's running around, not headless. We like to be well prepared,
well controlled.
Absolutely. So for anyone who's kind of sitting on the fence and not sure whether they should attend, they've never been to ISE before, not sure if they should come.
Or they've been before.
And that was a while back, and they thought, I didn't get matched yet. Mike Blackman, why should people come to ISE 2026? In a nutshell. Elevator pitch. You're standing next to your friend in an elevator. Pitch it.
If you're an integrator or a distributor, if you're a channel person in this industry, you have to be at ISE. It's where you're going to see all the latest and greatest about what you need. You'll see the product launches. We're lucky all the R&D is being focused around the beginning of the year now, so we have hundreds of product launches. And if you're an end customer and you want to understand why AV is important for you and understand what you should be doing, this is how you can find out without having someone trying to sell you something. Well, they will, but...
And it's also in a year where we're seeing the industry really going through the mill in terms of its people and companies that are struggling, companies that have had to let people go. Both Neil and I have been through that experience this year and landed in new homes.
Better places.
It's a great place to meet people and actually network.
The human connection of the human point of ISE is huge.
And it's amazing if people are in that position. It's a great place to have your CV and connect with people and
it's one of the things I don't shout about, because I don't want companies not sending their people because they might be headhunted. But if you're looking for a job, it is actually a great place to go and talk to people.
Recruitment You should do like a recruitment speed dating thing. Have like a little area where people can go.
Well, actually, we do. We do it for students. Okay. We have the Fast Forward Friday, which we've been doing for years, and actually it's managed by Vixen Cedia now. It's where we encourage the HR people from companies to actually come, and we bring in the students to have speed dating so they can find out. And I know people who have had jobs. In fact, one of them I saw last week, he works for Lang. He's my poster boy for Fast Forward Tuesday. He told me he was a student. I met him for the first time 2 years ago at the Lang Branchentreff, and he came over and said, "Mike, I'm Danny, and I wanted to thank you." I said, "What for?" And he said, "Well, he was a student at the University of Valencia, and he accidentally got the email where the university was organizing a trip to ISE on the Friday as part of our program. And he was studying engineering. And he called and said, "Hey, this looks interesting. Can I come?" And they said, "Oh, you're an engineering student. It wasn't really meant for you." And he said, "Oh, that's a shame, but I'd still like to come." And they said, "Well, actually, there's a spare place. You can come along." And he went along, and he was there, and he had 4 interviews when he was there, and got offered a couple of jobs, and he took one of them. And now he's a junior sales manager at Lang. He went to Infocom Latin America a few weeks ago and was a speaker at that event as well. So I'm looking and saying, look at what you can achieve.
How do you feel about exhibitors putting something on their stand to say we are hiring? Whether that's
like
speak
LinkedIn,
to someone or
kind of thing,
check out. Is it something that we should be encouraging?
Job board.
Why not?
It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a great big, just something subtle that says, you know what, we are hiring. If you want to speak to somebody,
I actually think we are in the best position to bring people together.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe the amount of people who call me and say, "Hey, Mike, I'm going to leave my current job if you know of any opportunities." And the amount of companies who call me and say, "Hey, we're looking for someone in this position. Do you know anyone who might be?"
Exactly.
So, it's
Blackman dating agency.
You can multitask. You could have a side hustle, Mike.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. Do you think I can get commission on it?
Right, we know that you've got a flight to catch. There's one last thing that I just wanted to add for anybody who is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but I believe there is an AI assisted tool to schedule your trip to ISE, whoever you are. It will help you get your dates in, get a planner in place, and tell you which halls you need to be in. Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we let you go and actually make your flight?
Firstly, use the tools that are there. Just to turn up and go wandering around, you'll miss so many opportunities. If you have to go and justify your trip to somebody, do it well and make sure you've got the justification. If you're just going to do it for yourself, justify it as well and plan that trip. The tools are there. Everything's there to help you plan it. We have a lot of matchmaking. We have events. If you are a startup looking for investment, we have an investment conference. If you're looking for a job as a student, we have the Fast Forward Friday. And if you're just someone in the industry looking for a job or looking for job hunters, well, Iffat just throw up a great idea.
Yeah.
Come and find me.
There you go. Love it.
Thank you so much for your time, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Been an absolute pleasure. We're so excited to see you in a few short weeks. It won't be long.
Bring the sunshine. Yeah. It's freezing here.
Yeah,
it's freezing here as well. We had
order some sunshine in Barcelona.
Yeah, we had a smattering of snow, and here in Munich. I'm in Munich today.
Yeah.
And it's warmed up a little bit. Barcelona, I think we should be expecting around 17, 18 degrees, which for us is warm.
That's nice.
The sun usually shines, touch wood, and I can tell you the atmosphere is great.
Yeah, very cool.
Always is. Thank you so
much. What's the
much.
website? Where can people go? Where should they go?
So you want to get more about ISE, go to www.iseurope.org, iseurope.org. You can find us on LinkedIn and ISE_show, and also on X in the same place. Also on you can find us on Instagram and on Facebook.
That's a wrap on this episode of AV in the Wild. Big thanks to our guests and to you, our listeners, for joining us on this journey through the AV landscape. If you liked what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, share, leave a review. It helps us keep the conversation going. Catch us next time as we hit the road again with more voices, more stories, and more of what makes AV wild. Until then, stay curious, stay connected, and stay wild.